one of the cool new products that I use in these kits now is this all-in-one harness. Now this harness is Bluetooth enabled and it has plugs for everything on the transmission. So you have your reverse lockout solenoid, you have your speed signal, and you have your reverse lights. Then you have your wires that go to power it. So you have a power and a ground. You have two output wires for your speed signal, so you can choose either one of these. And then you have your two reverse lights, which are the brown and red. Well, the red with brown stripe. Power and ground is just plain red and plain black. And your signals are purple and yellow or purple and white. Now, what's cool about this thing is it has basically all the transmission functions in one harness, so it's a nice clean install. You don't have to do any kind of extra module like before I would use the decoded digital box, and that thing works great, but it didn't have anything for the reverse lockout. So previously we were cutting down the springs in the reverse lockout solenoid, which you don't need to do anymore. Now this takes care of it for you. So this Bluetooth module will sense where you're at mile an hour wise through the T56 and then automatically unlock the reverse lockout from anything under 4 miles an hour. And you can actually adjust that through the app settings. There's a smartphone app that you can get for Android or Apple, and you can control all of this. And the other great thing is it has the same functionality as the decoded digital box built into this module, so you can control your factory speedometer and make that factory speedometer work with the T56. So I'm going to go ahead and install this harness, and then we'll go through the settings and I'll show you how to make this sync up with the gear ratio and the tire size that you have. The first step here is to install the wiring harness itself onto the transmission, and this is generally how I do it. I attach the reverse lockout up there first, then I go to the speed sensor, and then I come around here and I run the reverse lights harness up to here, plug that in, and then I run the wiring up over the bell housing because it has the most clearance up here, and it's actually going to get us closer to all the wiring that we need to tap into, which is all this factory wiring here. Then I try to make it look tidy, and I zip tie up these lines so that they are secure, and I put the module on here through this back brace of the transmission hole with a big zip tie, and then I zip tie up here through this hole on the front of the transmission to keep this all secure and keep it from moving around as much as possible. So now that we have the harness installed, we're going to go ahead and start tapping into the factory wiring and doing all the modifications to the factory wiring to make the T56 work on this automatic wiring harness. So the first step in the wiring here is we're going to tie these two wires together on the big plug on your factory auto harness, these two black wires that come out of the two large centers here. Looks like pin number 5 and 6. So we're going to cut these two off and tie them together up on this side, on the harness side, so that they ground each other. That's the neutral switch, so that's going to allow the car to actually start. The neutral switch wires tied together. The next step is going to be we're going to cut the red wire and the yellow wire in this same plug, and we're going to tie those two wires into our reverse lights, which are the two wires in the harness that I provide that are red and brown. So it doesn't matter which one goes to which, the polarity does not matter. Just hook those two into the red and yellow wires, and then we're going to go on to the next step. For power and ground, on the 8-pin connector that's here for the automatic, you're going to use the black and red wire right here for power. And then for ground, I couldn't find any grounds in this entire wiring mess here. So I did a ring terminal on the black wire coming off the harness. I'm going to install it right here on this ground for the transmission. So right in there. The last wire we need to hook up is the speed sensor wire itself. So this is what would normally come out of your stock transmission and go to the ECU and up into the dash. So we're going to interrupt it, and we're going to hook it up to either one of our output wires here, either purple and white or purple and yellow. You can choose whatever one you want. It doesn't really matter. You can change both of them through the Bluetooth console. So I'm going to go ahead and use purple and white, and I'm going to connect it to pin number 3 on this sensor here, which is the blue with the red stripe wire. Now you can see I've got all the wiring completed, and I try to tidy this up a little bit as best I can, because you're gonna have basically a bunch of empty connectors here now. Since we're running manual versus an automatic, you don't have all these connectors. So what I recommend is taping off all these connectors with electrical tape just to seal them off, all these open connectors. And then once you have it all cleaned up, tuck it up in here in the engine bay, up in here like this somewhere, where it's out of the way and kind of looks better. The ground wire for the transmission. And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna run it up here and hook it up to the starter bolt up here. Since it reaches up to there, I'm gonna go ahead and install it. All right, so the wiring under the car portion is complete. You can see everything is kind of tucked up in a way here. There's not really much you can do with this. It's ugly no matter what you do, just because of how much extra wiring you have there. And I don't want to cut off these connectors, because if this guy ever wanted to put this car back to a factory spec, then he's going to have all of his harness cut off. So what I do is I basically leave the connectors there, and I splice in where needed, and tape off these ends so they stay dry and clean as possible. One thing that I found on the right-hand drive car is my power for the wiring. I had to use the yellow wire that was on that 8-pin connector, not the big connector. That was the other harness, but the yellow wire, not the black and red. The yellow one is the one that worked on this automatic right-hand drive car. And then you can see here also, this is an option. You can do this. I only do this on the people that I don't worry about cutting up their harness, but you can see here, I basically terminated all the connectors, the stock automatic connectors, and I'm gonna make this really nice and tie this all together here, and then put some loom over it, and then that'll be a super nice harness for the transmission. There'll be no connectors hanging out there. It'll be all tidy. All right, now that the wiring's done, the last step here was to reinstall the exhaust. And now that that's done, we are done under the car, and we can go ahead into the interior, put the shifter handle in, and then fire the car up. So I'm back in the car, and it's about ready for startup. So the first thing you should notice is when you turn the key on, you should hear a click. Now that might have been hard to hear over the dinging, but there's a little click you'll hear, and that is the reverse solenoid turning on, so that you can go into reverse super easy. So there you can see how easy it was for me to get that into reverse. Now if I turn the key back off, let's see if we hear the click. I don't know if you heard that or not, but you could hear it click. Now when I try to go into reverse, I gotta put my weight into it. So before we do the first startup, I wanna go in and set up the Bowler app. So now you turn the key on, you should be able to connect to the Bowler app. I'm gonna change to a screen cap on my phone so I can show you the settings and how to change everything to get it pretty close. And then you actually have to go out for a drive to get the settings like spot on using a GPS app to match things up. Okay, you can see here I'm in my phone, and you can see the BPT all-in-one app. You can download it from the App Store. So you're gonna go in there, you're gonna connect to the module. And then when you get into the module, you're gonna select basic setup. You're gonna go in and you can set the tire diameter in the final drive, but you wanna check that pulse count and set it down to 8 to start. Then you're gonna go back, you're gonna go into speedometer, you're gonna change the pulse count, and you're gonna go down to, I think I set it down to 8 to 1 for just to try it out. And then for the calibration settings, you're gonna set that to 0.1 to 1. To start out, it should be at 1.0 to 1, but you wanna set it down to 0.1 to 1. Okay, so now with our Bowler settings set up in here, I'm gonna go ahead and fire the car up, and I have it on the lift so I can drive it a little bit here just to show you the SPEEDO controls. And it's probably gonna be a little bit off. You're gonna have to actually go out and drive it on the street here, but let's go ahead and start it up and go from there. Okay, so I'm in neutral, got the clutch down. I'm gonna put it in first gear, and let's watch the SPEEDO. Letting out the clutch. There we go, and you can see the SPEEDO's working, and if I rev it up here, we have a working SPEEDO. So now, all that's left then is to go out and take this thing for a test drive and use a GPS app to sync it up to get it like spot on in the settings in the Bowler app. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open an app I call Speedbox that's on my phone. That Speedbox app will show me my speedometer with GPS. and then I'm gonna open the Bowler app at the same time. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna watch the SPEEDO and compare it to the Speedbox app, and then I'm gonna tweak the settings up and down to get the SPEEDO to be exactly where I want it. Okay, so what you're gonna see here, I'm gonna open Speedbox, and I'm gonna check my SPEEDO versus that Speedbox. Then I'm gonna go back in to the all-in-one setup. I'm gonna select the speedometer, and then I'm gonna change the pulse count down here. You can see it's 8 now, and then I'm gonna swap it down to a pulse count of 6. And that's gonna give me the SPEEDO settings that I want. Basically, you're gonna have to play around with these numbers until you get your SPEEDO matched up. So here you can see I'm back in Speedbox again, and I'm checking it as I'm driving down the road to see if it's equal. If you notice that the output is not responding, try the other output and play around with both.